Well, hello and welcome back to another recording. I am Spencer Brinkerhoff III. We are recording live from Studios B3. I say live recording because it's a lot of work to put these together, and I just don't have time to edit it. So we record it, we talk, we're done. Whatever happens, happens, and we're going to watch our language, make sure this is a warning. No, just... Today's guest is laughing a little bit in the background. No need to really warn the language. I'd like to welcome Lin Zy onto our show today. Lin Zy, hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. Doing good.
And remind me, where are we talking to you from today? Where are you at?
Basically around Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah?
Most people would know.
Awesome. And so you're there doing your artwork. You're playing around. This is what number celebration? Is this your third or your fourth celebration?
Oh, goodness.
So let's see. There's
Fifth, actually.
fifth. Is it fifth already?
I think so.
Oh my goodness.
No, maybe my fourth. That might be correct.
You're getting to be a pro there.
Yeah, it's getting, yeah. Because I know I went Germany and London.
Right, in London.
And then I did Orlando, Anaheim, and now Orlando. So yes, this is fifth.
Fifth? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, you're an old pro here. No, I didn't mean to say that you were old. I called Randy Martinez old the other day, and he took a little bit of offense with that. And I said not geriatric, just you've been around for a while, so it's all good, right? All good.
Yeah, yeah. We've all got a level. We just have to, deal with it, love
Nice.
it.
Now, in addition to drawing Star Wars art, and we're going to show you your brand new art off in just a second. I'm sure that people have seen it, but on this show, they may not have seen it. Literally, tens of people are watching. So, in addition to doing your Star Wars artwork, what else are you working on right now? What can you tell us about filling your days, or is it just all Star Wars?
A lot of it is just Star Wars, but
Yeah.
no, I just wrapped up a project with Tops.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they've got a new project coming out. I'm not quite sure if I'm allowed to say what it is out loud. I think I can. I think they've announced it by now, so hopefully I don't get in trouble. But Walking Dead, they're doing some
Excellent.
Walking Dead cards, so working on those, and of course our big independent movie that we're working on takes up a lot of time as well.
Now, in the movie that you're working on, and that's Aladdin. Wait, 3477.
You got it.
Okay.
That's it.
So in that movie, tell me what you get to do on it, because I remember some things about our last conversation that I maybe not everybody knows. So what are your different roles in working on this movie?
Oh boy. In a nutshell.
Well,
In
I
a
mean, yeah, you can't get away from it. That's part of it, right?
No, absolutely not. We live, breathe, sleep, eat it. I don't know
Nice.
if you want to eat it, but whatever.
No.
Okay. So yeah, I'm a producer on it. I also do wardrobe, costuming, hair, makeup, sometimes catering.
Right, right.
But usually my mom takes over that part. Thank goodness, Mama's home cooking.
Nice.
And
You did
then
say eat
I
it, so
also
yeah. And you're also acting. Now, the one little piece that you left out that I think is super fascinating, the fight choreography. Do you have something to do with that as well?
I do. I still practice martial arts every single week.
Right.
And I have lots of wonderful ladies and gentlemen helping me from my dojo, helping with fight choreography, and I'm also running that too.
Now, did you just recently compete? Was there a competition that you were just in, or?
Yeah, I do tournaments on and off. The last one I was in was actually in Canada, so that was a good time.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what's the name? What's the name of the martial arts that you practiced? Now, you changed, didn't you? You went into a new discipline.
I did. I used to do Taekwondo when I was really young. This style is called Shirinji-ryu, and it's Japanese. So
Awesome.
originated from Shotokan and branched off. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, speaking of Japanese, we are now showing your artwork on our image here. We've got a split screen
Yeah.
with you showing it off. We have Ahsoka. You want to give us the title of this piece? And I'm going to make you say it in Japanese too.
Good luck with that. It's Journey into the Underworld.
All right. I'm going to pull it up large on my screen right here so that I can show off. Oh, geez, it got really big fast. Your piece, it's similar to William O'Neill's. It's very tall. And
Yes,
so
it's very tall.
what are the dimensions on that? And tell me why you decided to do it such a tall size, right?
Sure, sure. I did it 12 by 36.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a half, big poster size, which is
Yeah.
kind of nice. But people are always looking for art that fits in those little nooks and crannies of their house, and they just can't find anything good to go there. You have any of those like
Yeah.
in your bathroom,
Yes,
right?
like sometimes they have those like built-in like little soffits, and it's like
Yeah.
just a sunken part of the wall just waiting for your artwork to go in.
Just waiting for my artwork to go there. So that's why I did it that size. Yeah, exactly.
Now, the other thing that struck me about the piece is that it also has, because of the Japanese sort of like styling and motif to it, it's got a feeling of a scroll. There are some of those Japanese painting scrolls. Did you look at those when you were making it as well?
Ironically enough, I was actually in my dojo one day,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, this is back when we were thinking of concepts and stuff. And sure enough, I looked up at the wall, and they have some beautiful Japanese scrolls hanging in the dojo. And I was going, "Oh gosh, that's a really great inspiration point. I'd love to stylize something like that." So that was actually kind of where the idea came from.
That's awesome. Now, are you gonna attempt the Japanese at the top here?
No, I'll leave that to you.
Well, I'll explain it a little bit. If I remember it all correctly, the first section of the text that we see here is written in sort of like it's called Katakana, and that's used for foreign words that are being said in Japanese. And so the first part of that actually says underworld, and it's underworld. And then the first kanji there that has sort of like the checker box on the top of the little house, that stands for the world, which is sakai. And then the no is a possessive, which is the almost the last one. And then the very last symbol is takai, I think, which is journey. So literally this says underworld and then the world's journey. And so what you've done is taken your title and just spelled it out in the journey to the underworld.
Yes, and I did have a couple people help me with this. I asked a couple friends who I know I should have asked you that speak Japanese and stuff. And it was just kind of everybody sort of had a little bit of a different answer.
Oh, I know. That's the worst thing about asking for translation help.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
So everybody was a little different. And then I had to go with, of course, the look and size of my print.
Yes.
So I kind of just used the best of everything and tried to make it work.
Now, I'm super excited to talk about, the different elements of your art print. And I'm going to go back to a big view of it. So let's start from the top down, because I feel like there's a path here. There's a journey that you're taking. And do you want to, is that the proper way to sort of like read the artwork? Sort of like it is a Japanese scroll. We're going to start at the top and we're going to read down, top to bottom, right to left is the Japanese sort of like reading format. So let's look at the top of the piece and sort of like translate. You want to go through it? Do you have it right there in front of you, or you just know it?
I do have it right here in front of me, actually. Yes.
So the first thing that we see is the branch that's coming off, and we have these blossoms, and the blossoms are kind of blowing away. And I've got my feelings on it, right? But I want you to tell me what you've got going on here.
Well, the Japanese cherry blossoms are very traditional, right?
Yes.
We see those all the time. They sort of give us a certain feeling and emotion, especially with these particular branches being maybe a little less bloomy than we would normally see on a Japanese cherry blossom tree. So that's kind of the changing of season, right? And kind of the fall away of the petals.
And that launches the beginning of this journey. And
Yes.
so we go right under that and we see a red moon. Often a blood moon can be an omen of something dangerous or bad. But in this, you've actually added a little detail there, which is maybe one of your previous art pieces,
Oh yeah, I have to throw it in there somewhere.
Exactly.
Always.
Explain what that logo is to everybody then.
The Rebels logo obviously just symbolizes freedom and uniqueness. I love that logo. It's one of my favorites.
And then I didn't get a chance to look at the other like translated piece on there, and my language skills are not as good as they are, and so I don't think I'm going to try and read them all. But that first part is Watashi wa Jedi da arimasen. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, good job. I read it and I knew what it meant. And for those of you who may not get that one, you want to translate that. This is underneath the Sabine logo, the Rebels logo, red blood moon. It says what?
It says, I'm no Jedi.
I am no Jedi.
Yes.
So here at the beginning of this journey, that we're talking about the end of Star Wars Rebels Season 2, where Ahsoka battled with Darth Vader. And in that battle, they left it a little ambiguous, right?
They did. They did. I'm glad, though.
I'm super glad, too. Ahsoka was a hero to a whole new generation of Star Wars fans, and it would just be too tragic to have her just be dead. I mean, we don't want our heroes to die. And what you've done in this piece is you've started Ahsoka on her next journey. So if we go back, the closing scene of that episode had Ahsoka walking in silhouette, through that portal. But you've sort of like translated that portal a little bit, and it's no longer just a walkway.
Yeah, you're referring to the Darth Vader segment here? Or?
Yes, Darth Vader segment.
Yes, I saw Dave Filoni's card was a huge inspiration to the Topps trading cards that he had done, right, and how evocative they all were and everything. So the one with the triangle in it, to me it was screaming just to be Darth Vader's mouth. It just looked so much that shape. So I figured let's just throw the rest of the helmet work on there and make it so.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was immediately what I saw when I looked at that card. I don't know why, and it doesn't show that. It's just kind of where my brain went.
Now, just below that, there's kanjis there that I'm not recognizing, and so you're going to have to tell me what those kanjis are just under Vader's face there.
That's just more of a traditional saying because Ahsoka has such a warrior spirit, so that's what it says. It says warrior spirit.
Is Matt nearby playing with the dog?
No, but my dog is on my lap snoring. Would you like to see her? See?
No. Wait a second. You said that your dog was snoring. Did you just wake that poor guy up? Oh my goodness.
Sorry. She'll be back out in 2 seconds. It's okay.
So as we're recording live, and I'm trying to get all the audio stuff right, I'm hearing this slight little is it a sigh? Is it? And at first it sounded like somebody was just going, ah, and they were just agreeing with everything that I was saying and everything you were saying. They were just like, so,
right?
Subarashi da ne, and just agreeing with everything. And so I was like, I thought it was Matt, playing with it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, pugs are Chinese,
Yes.
So
yes.
She kind of matches the same colors as my print, so she's a little.
She's not happy with you right now. You better leave her alone.
She'll get over it. It's okay. She knows I love her.
Now, one of the other things that I thought was really interesting on this piece right here is that you've included the bird, and I always sort of forget exactly. Is it carnivore? Is that
carnivore? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the proper pronunciation is, but I believe it's spelled convor.
And that bird. Yeah, that bird is in the sort of like the pink area just to the right of Vader, and then flying towards you at the bottom. But then there's also Ahsoka with her back to you there. So we have Ahsoka on here twice. Why is Ahsoka on this piece 2 times?
3 times.
Oh, 3 times. I'm sorry. I was scrolling.
No,
I was
that's
scrolling
okay.
down. I hadn't got there yet. So Ahsoka is on the piece 3 times, and you want to talk about why you put her in?
No, she's on there 4. I just realized that.
Oh well. Oh gosh, you're right. I'm gonna go back for a second here. So we're gonna count them up. We have Ahsoka in silhouette in the cave. So is Ahsoka walking? I don't know if this is the closing scene, and it looked like she was walking into the cave. So maybe she's walking towards us or away from us. I don't know. But then the second Ahsoka we see has her back to us, looking at a carnivore in the distance. And then we have Ahsoka in her full sort of like battle pose, and then a fourth Ahsoka. So tell me about these iterations of Ahsoka in the piece and what you wanted to go within that sense.
Sure. You kind of hit the nail on the head when originally you had said I was trying to follow a pattern, like her journey, right? And you can see throughout the piece that there are those kind of movements of pattern going through. And so I was trying to find bits and pieces of her story, and again, inspired by those Dave Filoni cards that would just fit and meld into a nice pattern. I didn't take everything, but again, I kind of artistically selected what I thought would look compositionally best on the piece.
Yeah.
But those birds, just going back to that for a second, I had picked up on the idea of those birds a while ago, you know, and then you've got, I believe his name is Bendu. Bendu, yes, the big guy, and they were flying all around him too, and I thought that was really interesting. So, and I just, you know, also saw them kind of in the cards and was inspired by that. And I'm going, I bet they just sort of watch over, you know. I kind of have my theories going on, but.
Well, and I think that there are actually some theories that this bird, this carnivore, is sort of a representative of the light side of the Force. And we see in the episode that had the brother and the sister that were like the embodiment of the Force. And there was that battle, that duel, and Anakin learned sort of more about his potential future from the Clone Wars. And the sister died, and she turned into this big sort of like bird thing. I think that there's a lot of fun connections, but in the same way, Dave Filoni has left it a little bit ambiguous so that we can speculate all that we want.
Of course he has.
And I also noticed that as you talked about the cherry blossoms, the sakura, that as they are blowing off of the tree, as we're changing seasons, that same motif sort of like blows through all of these different images. It flies from screen right to left, and it goes off the side, and then we have Vader there, and then we see the cherry blossoms flying back into the screen, surrounding Ahsoka and the bird, and then they're all around her feet. Now tell me about this Ahsoka that's all in dark. I mean, I see a character like that, and I think somber. I think that there's you know, maybe there's sorrow, there's death. Tell me what you were thinking and what you're maybe trying to represent in this piece on the stair steps.
Yeah, I mean, of course, our hope, like you said, you don't ever want your heroes or heroines to kind of pass, so you do want them to live on. So again, just kind of going with the concept of maybe that she did pass, and this is her possible journey through the underworld, right, as even as Dave had stated previously, and then just bringing her back into color in the front, just kind of that she does live on, that she really isn't gone, you know, and she finally kind of arrives at this big stage, and she's there in the front and center.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I also, one of the things that Dave also said that I really enjoyed is that when Ahsoka left the Jedi Order, that she left the Jedi Order. And as such, she was no longer Jedi, she was no longer Sith. And when she made her new lightsabers, they were white, you know?
Yes.
And so that's there too. And I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that was really fascinating, and I know they haven't put a name on it yet, and part of me kind of thinks maybe it's cooler without a name, right? Just like the Force before we knew about what it was made up of. But so maybe they'll leave something to the imagination a little bit, I hope.
Wait, you're saying that they haven't put a name on, oops, wrong screen. They haven't put a name on the colors of the sabers? Is that what you mean? Or
no, obviously the sabers are white.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just the neutralness of them.
Exactly. So similar to the Bendu, she represents not the Jedi, not the Sith, but she's a Force user in that way.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Now something else I'm really enjoying, just kind of like walking right down the art print, right? Have we missed anything yet? Are there some secrets in there that we haven't got to, because we're about to get all the way to like the bottom part here?
Yeah, the wolves going up the stairs.
Oh, let me go back to that. Oh my goodness, there they are. Okay. So they're in white. We've got the wolves, like ghost wolves, that are flying right up the stairs behind Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Now, is that just paying Filoni his due?
It kind of was, because that was the one I couldn't really figure out. That was the card that really tripped me up when I was sort of searching through all of this and trying to really think about it and what it means to me as an artist and this and that. And I really can't quite figure the wolves out. So I thought that those were interesting too.
Now describe to me really quick. Yeah, describe to me really quick the card that you're talking about, because I think it's sort of like a Princess Mononoke style card. Is that the one?
It's just got the silhouettes of the wolves going in a big circle, and then Ahsoka's in the middle.
Oh,
But they're
okay.
just flat. They're just sideways in one big continuous circle.
Now, see, that one I missed. I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
I thought there was another drawing with Ahsoka sitting on the back of a wolf. And it was similar to the Japanese movie Princess Mononoke, and where she's on this big white wolf. And I don't know if that one was just an art piece that I saw that Dave had drawn, or if it was part of that card set.
Huh. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm not familiar with that one.
So Dave Filoni and the Wolf Pack, you know, they're inseparables.
Right, right. So I'm really hoping that soon we find out what that's about. You know, finally the birds are kind of being revealed, and that's great, and I'm excited about that. But I'm curious to see what this wolf concept is as well.
Awesome. Now, as we get to the very bottom of your art print, you've included sort of like almost like a certificate sort of a feeling. And I mean, it's got some of the Japanese design motifs as well as like a hanko, which is like a signature type of a thing. So tell me what you've got going on at the bottom of this one.
Sure. For a long time, I wasn't quite sure what to do with the bottom of the print, and I wanted something elaborate and beautiful, again, to hopefully go with the idea of the scroll work. And then, of course, on a traditional Japanese scroll, you always see the artist stamp, right? The person who wrote the scroll. So that's kind of the idea behind that red marking down at the bottom. And then, of course, that's where I would remark.
Oh, I see.
People wanted, wanted that done.
Now, what happens a lot of times is that the artists, you guys are sitting there in your booth, you're working, you're talking to people, and you want to engage with everyone, and you don't have time to sort of like do everything that you want to do. And the remark is an opportunity to add a little customization, a little drawing on there that not everyone gets. But it looks like that you have a little hint of a silhouette there.
Yes, I do. I do. So that would be my, my ideal remark. I would like to do that, the silhouette of Ahsoka there.
Her profile fits right into the top of that one. And,
exactly.
And is there anything hidden inside of this artist signature and those symbols there? Anything that you pulled up to make that at all, or is that just sort of like the for the silhouette holder?
No, those are kind of just those are artist. That's like an artist stamp that someone had given me, so that's what I used for that. And then all the little decorations down there are basically just little shapes that I kind of made up that reminded me of things like fans in the corners and flowers. And, yeah.
I'm gonna scroll out here and show the whole thing off really big one more time. Now you said that your piece is 12 inches by 36. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And how much is this art piece cost?
It's going to be $45 as is, and then with the remark, it would be $65.
Excellent. And you guys have a large booth space, and you're going to be outside of the art show. And so, do you know right now? Like, can you describe where I haven't looked at a map yet. I don't know if one's available, but can you describe where your booth space is going to be at and how people can find you at the show?
Sure. So I believe we're right by the main doors. We actually have a great booth space. And if you go down the main corridor, I think we're right to your right-hand side when you come in the big main doors.
Okay.
And not too far down. I want to say it's just a few down. But
and then the other thing about this is that this is limited edition to only 250 prints, and it's available right now on the website, right? Not on Acme's website.
Correct.
What's the web address where people can go, or how can they find you to grab a piece and buy it now instead of at the show?
Sure, it's on the Matt Bush store, so just mattbushstore.com.
Okay.
They can go right on there and select my print for purchase.
Awesome.
Yeah, because my website is currently kind of down. I'm working on it.
And then I looked online. I hope I've got your details correct here.
Yeah.
Because everything on the internet is correct.
Of course it is.
I put down for a Twitter, if people wanted to follow you on Twitter, it's @WithLoveLinzy, and that's LINZY. Is that the right place to go?
That is correct. That's also my YouTube channel. And then on Facebook, I'm different. So it's Lin Zy, spelled Linzy, and the last name is Celestow, Selestow.
Wow. I don't think I've ever asked you where the Lin Zy came from. Is that birth? Is that a birth name, or did you?
Yes,
it is. Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So my dad is 100% Ukrainian, which makes me 50 by default, right? So
excellent.
We don't have middle names traditionally. And then usually they try to do something unique with your first name, either a spelling or pronunciation thing. So
excellent. Yeah. Well, Lin Zy, thank you so much for taking some time out today and talking with us today and all about your artwork. I love the energy that you put in and the thought that you've put in to create this. Are you going to run any of these off on parchment that you can then roll up and stuff like that? You know, maybe an artist proof, you know, that's not part of this series. It's just sort of like a test run, maybe just a couple of those lying around.
That would be neat. You know, maybe I should try that, just like a color test, right? Or something.
Right. Well, I wonder if you can get it on fabric. You know, there's a lot of different, like the heat transfer and stuff like that. You can do fabric, but it would be really fun to see that thing roll up and scroll out. But
it would. Put some wood dolls at the ends.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about your art print. Wait, I'm going to get down to the title there. Now is the title actually written on it in English, or is it just at the top in?
Nope, it's just at the top in Japanese.
The Journey to the Underworld. It's by Lin Zy, available at Star Wars Celebration 2017 in Orlando. Limited to 250 pieces that you can buy online right now. You can get them at mattbushstore.com, or you can follow Lin Zy at WithLoveLinzy. And you can do it now. Lin Zy, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
And I am Spencer Brinkerhoff III. I'm coming to you recording live. What happens, happens. I'm from Studios B3. Thank you again, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Anything else you want to tell everybody before we sign off?
So excited for Star Wars Celebration 2017. Woo! See you all there.
In Orlando. Get ready to be muggy.
Not to be confused with Puggy.
Not to be Puggy. I did one of those tests online one time to see what my dog breed is, and I'm a pug. I don't know if that is that good.
Well, that's why we're friends. I understand.
Oh, you see me as a pet. Okay, signing off. Thank you, Lin Zy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.